Hi, how's it going? I'm Shane, director of the Alley Makerspace. And today I'm going to teach you all about the power drill. The power drill is kind of a fundamental tool, very useful for drilling holes in things and applying screws or fastening things together. Um, that said, if you are doing a lot of fastening, you often might want to consider an impact. It can be a little bit quicker, but we'll save that for a different video. So with any tool that you're learning, the first spot is to start with a standard operating procedure. Standard operating procedures are often concise, straight to the point documents that provide information like the capabilities of the tool or the process that you're going to be using, some of the safety hazards, and the steps to get the tool set up and ready to use. So for this video, I'm going to follow along with the standard operating procedures as best I can. The next thing I should mention is safety around this tool. So of course it has a spinning component. So that spinning component, we want to keep clear of that spinning component. So we often want to avoid actually touching it while it's spinning, or at least the actual active spinning component. We want to have our hair tied back. If you have any loose clothing, we want to have that obviously changed out. We don't want to have loose clothing. There is definitely a sound associated with the drill. You can wear hearing protection. It's not required. But if you're going to be doing a lot of drilling, it might be wise to put those on just to protect from the monotonous sound. So now let me show you, and of course safety glasses, right? Safety glasses, because as you're drilling, you might throw up chips and things along those lines, and so we want to keep our eyes protected. So now I want to give you a tour of the actual tool. So if you go to the other camera, there we go. So here's our drill. Of course, they're stored without a battery. You'll need to go to the main office in order to check out a battery. And of course, you have to have the training listed in the system in order to be able to get the battery. So we put the battery in. Just to show you this control here, it does show you the charge indicator. And so there's 4 LEDs, and I can see that this battery is fully charged. There's also what I'll call the trigger, or you can really call it the control switch, or even a throttle. And what this does is it controls the speed of the spindle. Right. So as I press it harder and harder, squeeze it tighter, that increases the speed. Now, there's also a direction selector here, right? So from the camera's perspective, this is now sending it. This is now sending it clockwise. I can also have it go counterclockwise, and I can also lock it by putting the switch right in the middle position. So one of the things that we can see here, of course, this is the what you could call it the chuck here, right? So this is what actually holds our either drill bit or our tool head. So that might be like a driver bit. And I'll show you how to load that in a second. We also have our torque selector. So you see these numbers as we clip around. So the smaller the number, the smaller the torque that this will apply. And so what it means is it will apply all the torque it can until there's enough back torque to which this will start clicking and it actually will stop spinning. So I can't tell you exactly what torque you need, except for usually when you're drilling, you want to be high torque. When you're applying fasteners is when you want to consider actually controlling your torque so you don't accidentally over tighten something. You can also see that there's a mode selector switch here that not all drills have these. This is for drilling. This is for screwing, and pretty certain that this is for hammer drilling. Typically, I would stay in the screwing and, or rather, the drilling and the screwing settings. There's also a speed selector switch here, so you can see, first drilling mode. So this is in mode 2, mode 1. So this is slower, faster. Right? And I believe with this slower speed, you're also going to up the torque a little bit. So these are the controls. Now what I want to do is show you how to load a tool in. So I'm going to use a drill bit here. I'm going to take a 5/32 drill bit. Obviously, you're going to have to put some thought into what drill bit you want to use. Note that we really want to avoid having the chuck grip on the cutting part of the drill bit, right? So we're really supposed to be in this just round area. So I'm going to put it in the chuck, go through, and tighten it down. Right? So now I need to hold the body of the tool like this, and I tighten it. You don't need to Gorilla tight it, right? You can just kind of get a comfortable tightness there. Now, I'm ready to drill. If I want to drill a hole, I want to make sure from the camera's perspective that we're going around clockwise. Right? We're going around clockwise. Right? Otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to start burning holes in your wood because you're not actually using or engaging the cutting part of the drill. So let me get a piece of spoil board real quick. Right, so spoil board is just something that I can drill into underneath and not really care about. So let's get this piece of plywood here because I want to drill a hole through here. And obviously, you want to put some thought into actually marking where you want your hole to go. But I'm going to say right now, I want my hole to go right there. All right. So some things to consider is when this starts rotating, it's going to apply a torque in the opposite direction that it's drilling, right? And so you're going to have to hold that in place. But it's also going to grip onto the work piece and cause that to rotate. So we want to make sure that we've got a good grip on our work piece and on our drill. In fact, if possible, I would recommend clamping your workpiece down. So taking a clamp and holding it down. So that way you can have both your hands on the drill. Because one of the best ways to drill is to actually push down to hold steady and apply force directly from the back. So you're not applying from the handle. But what I'm going to do in this case here is I'm just going to hold my workpiece. And obviously, it really depends on your situation, but I'm going to pay attention and try and have this be straight up and down so it's a level hole. So the other thing you can do is you can kind of get yourself started in the center just by pushing the drill bit straight down. And so I could have applied a little bit more speed to that, but wasn't quite necessary. So now you can see I've got my hole through. We're in good shape. So that's one thing we can do. The other thing we can do is apply a fastener, right? So if I want to screw two pieces of wood together, right, I can do that as well. So to take my bit out, right, I'm just going to hold on to the tool and rotate right here. So now I can pull that out, put it right back in the right spot in our drill index here. And I got to find my tool here. Here it is. All right, so need to make sure that I've got the right head to work with my screw. That's the perfect head there. And I got to open this up just a little bit. All right. So now I can start screwing things in. Same with the drill, right? There's a direction to tighten screws, which from your perspective is going to be around clockwise, and then to loosen screws can be counterclockwise. So what I'm going to do is, obviously you want to mark things out first, but I'm just going to put it right here for the sake of demonstration. And I'm gonna hold my screw for a little bit until it gets started or started in. So now I'm going to really apply with both hands, apply pressure. That should be enough to hold my workpiece down, but if you have any concern, then you might want to clamp things. But I'm gonna just, oh, so see right there was a twist. So my method isn't going to work. I'm gonna have to actually push down on the workpiece to prevent it from rotating. And there we go. So we've got these two pieces fastened together. If I want to take the screw out, I can go in the opposite direction. So clip that. And so once again, holding the workpiece, pulling it out. Now, let me show you what happens if we have our torque setting. We have our torque setting lower. So I'm gonna be careful. Screws can get a little hot because of the friction. So be aware of that. But I'm gonna set my torque down to, let's just do 6. And let's see what happens as we try and put the screw in right here. Oops, make sure we're in the right direction. Hold my workpiece. Well, interestingly enough, it didn't back torque at all. I'm a little surprised there, actually. Let's try that one more time. The right direction. Hold the workpiece. There we go. So that click, click, click. That's it reaching its torque max, and that might be what I want because maybe I don't want to push into the wood too much with my screw. And so if I do want it to dig in further, then I can just increase the torque. So those are the real essentials of using the power drill. They're quite useful. And just pay attention to all the signals that you've got. Pay attention to the sound, and you'll start to learn what a good drilling process sounds like versus a really bad process. So that might be, maybe you're drilling right into a knot, which is typically a harder, more dense wood, and that can sometimes be problematic. Or your battery's dead. There's all sorts of things that can go wrong, but as long as you follow the steps that are detailed in our standard operating procedure, right? So this document here, you should be good.